Lovely table.
All right, welcome to Barstool Units. What is this, episode 53?
52.
52, episode 52. Barstool Units, I'm Coach Doug's. With me, as always, Frank the Tank Fleming. Frank, where are you today?
I'm in the room with the wobbly table.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Now, is
got a wobbly table.
the
Wobble,
classics.
wobble.
Frank, it's good to be back. It's good to have this show where I tell you what, it's just been a crazy week. I don't think I've fully recovered from the traveling to Daytona.
Well, I can't wait to get on the road again.
On the road again.
I
Yeah,
mean, it doesn't look like there's going to be no baseball season. The Nets are hopeless and Devils are hopeless.
yeah. So I
I
mean,
mean,
what are we going to get on the road for if there's no sport?
well, I guess we could hike down to Ala fucking Bama.
Oh, listen, I will be in Birmingham. I hope you can join. It's the Generals,
Oh,
Frank.
we'll see what happens with the we'll see what happens with baseball. I mean, if there's no
I mean,
baseball, definitely want to go see the Generals.
yeah. I mean, Frank, you're worried about a bobblehead in a season that might not even happen.
But I got to get the bobbleheads. It's all about the bobbleheads.
It's all about the bobbleheads. That is a common phrase. All about the bobbleheads. Frank, we're still in the lockout. I mean, do you think the season's actually going to take place?
No,
And you truly believe like there's not going to be a season?
I think that what Rob Manfraud wants is to radically change baseball and to break the Players Association, and he doesn't care how much damage he does to baseball because he doesn't actually like baseball. He thinks that baseball is a stupid boomer sport played with wood that only boomers like.
Okay, so you've mentioned this before. I do know he made the comment that I believe what the World Series
A
trophies,
piece of tin.
and he gets booed like most commissioners do. I feel I want to give him a small benefit of the doubt. I want to. I don't think I'm going to be able to, but I want to just because I know the commissioners usually are hated unanimously. He seems to not like the sport. So my question is, Frank, this is the big question. How does someone who doesn't like the sport become a commissioner of a league that plays that sport?
I honestly don't know. I
Where
know he's always the
where is he from?
uh, Utica.
I mean, how did he become commissioner?
He's a lawyer, so he was like one of the lawyers that represented MLB in the '94 lockout, the strike when they tried to break the players' union, and from there he ended up becoming like Bud Selig's right hand man.
Okay,
And
so
then when Selig retired, he took over.
he was the next guy up.
Yep.
Here's the question: is he there to promote the league, or is he there to protect the owners?
Um, he is there surely for the owners.
And so the owners, I mean, he is the talking figure. He is the head of the owners.
Yes,
He
and
he talks for the owners.
he does nothing to promote the league. Baseball and the league promotion is pathetic. I mean, look how many NBA players are well known, well established. Everyone knows who an NBA player is. Take a look at baseball. They don't do any promotion. They discourage promotion. I mean, Mike Trout may be the best player over the last 20 years, and he plays out there in Anaheim, and nobody really gets to see him play. And then when they do TV coverage, it's terrible. It's the promotion of the league. The league does not do a good job at all.
Now, and I've seen you mention you've compared the NBA with the MLB uh, recently with cap space in the same sense of popularity and superstardom in MLB. Is there a chance that has to do with, there being 9 players on the field at once, it being a
Well,
slow-paced game? There's not as many opportunities in
well,
base.
let me look at it this way. When an NBA game sells out, it sells 20,000 tickets at most. That's how big arenas are.
Mm-hmm.
20,000 would be half a stadium for baseball. And even when the Mets were basically garbage on a typical summer night in the last decade, 20,000 would be half the stadium. So you tell me which sport's better, is more popular.
Yeah,
I
well, I mean,
mean,
yeah, but we have to also factor in TV. I mean, saying, could that be? I mean, are there cities in which if an arena held 40,000, there would be 40,000 fans there?
yeah, but the NBA TV ratings are still not the same as baseball. I mean, baseball still has a higher TV ratings, except it's just baseball's TV ratings are trending downward and basketball's trending upward. And it's because of how poorly the league promotes itself.
Gotcha. Now, is this just? Could it be just that the NBA is doing a better job?
No, nobody does a better job than the NBA. The NBA does an even better job of promoting itself than the NFL does.
So, I mean,
No, baseball's promotional department is pathetic.
yeah. Now, they do allow you to share clips of their plays now, right? Like they were pretty much like the IOC a year or two ago, where they
Yeah,
would.
they did. They've gotten a little bit better with that. Uh, but
There's
basketball loves when you share the clips.
Yeah, and it seems obvious to me, but maybe that's because I'm not in the loop of how everything works to that. But just like everything else, I mean, just like the content we put out, you put out the content, you put out the content, you hope more people see it. The more people see it, the more people like it. The more people like it, the more they'll interact. And why wouldn't the league want that? Why wouldn't the league want everyone to see their sport?
Dinosaur mound mindset. That's what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
So
only
so
dinosaur media's mindset.
So at the end of the day, we could say Manfred is the problem, but he does speak for the owners. So is this an owner's problem?
Promotional, that is not an owner's problem. That's a Manfraud problem. Because the
Okay.
commissioner, when he's not speaking for the player owners, he has to promote the league and grow the league. And this league hasn't grown now in 20 years.
All right. So with the lockout, as far as the lockout is going, he speaks for the owners of the teams.
Yes,
So what's the owners' issues? Why is there a lockout right now? What do they want?
they basically want the players to get peanuts
They
and
want
be happy
caps.
getting peanuts.
Hmm.
I mean, there are owners that don't want to put any money into their team and
Hmm.
want basically uh, want a salary cap, but players associations never going to go for that. So the only way they can do that is try to get a luxury tax. And some owners want there to be a more rigid, harder, more punitive tax. And Player Association actually wants there to be a floor that so teams who are getting money from the tax can't just put the money in the back pocket that they have to actually spend on players. I
Hmm.
mean, you have teams that
That makes
payrolls
sense.
are the payroll. You got teams like the Mets payroll over 200 million, and you got teams like the Orioles whose payroll is 30 million.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I mean, if you're an owner willing to spend money and everything, and you're spending the money, and then you have other owners like say maybe the Orioles or the Pirates, you they can choose not to spend any money, spend as little money as possible, and then just pocket that luxury tax money. So that makes, I mean, I feel like that makes sense, but that's internal. That's something that, I mean, what does that do with the players?
The players want a floor
The
that
players want a
teams
floor.
can no longer, yeah, that teams can no longer get the money without reaching a certain level of spending.
Okay. And so we're just trying to find middle ground. We're just trying to find the
Yeah.
place between the floor and the ceiling.
And something that's happened over the last 10 years is called service time manipulation. And basically, right now is that minor league players are what?
Like, is that what happened to Aaron Judge?
No.
Okay. All right. Continue.
Minor leaguers basically get nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And now they have to they're not even they have to pay for their own hotel rooms. And it's like they basically want to tell these players in minor league baseball that if you want to be a major leaguer, you have to sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
And they've really gone hard after minor leaguers. Player Association doesn't like that. And one of the things that gets done is if you're called up after like May 15th, you're considered a minor leaguer still, and you're a pre-rookie, even though you're eligible for rookie of the year. So teams don't call up players right away, or make sure that they stay in the minors just at the edge of when they would lose their eligibility as a rookie and get credited with their first year, and then the next year. So that will delay their ability to get arbitration and become unrestricted free agent.
A full year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, how often does that happen? Does that happen all the time? I mean,
All the time.
So what's the solution?
Players want players who are not eligible for arbitration to get more money. Want to raise the minimum salary, and basically want to block the service time manipulation, where if someone now spends most of the season in the majors, they'll be credited with one full season.
Mm-hmm. Do like a percentage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not just basically where and they want to limit the amount of times a player can go up and down between the minors.
Yeah.
Which also affects service time.
Now, who wants to limit that? The players or the owners?
The players.
Okay. Now, wouldn't that put them in a bind though? If the owners, if they can't go back down another time?
No, what it means is they either have to stay in the majors or be designated for assignment and allow the player to be picked up on waivers.
Yeah, and so wouldn't a player want the ability to go back down?
No.
No, they just go ahead and release me.
Yeah. So another team he could go play on another team.
But wouldn't that happen with the DFA anyway?
That's what they want. It's a player that has options can go up and down all season.
Gotcha.
A player that's out of options now has to be offered to all other teams and say, he may not be able to fit on that major league roster, but we'll take him. We saw.
Okay, so in this case, the players want less options.
Yes.
Gotcha.
That will keep him in the majors.
You don't usually hear that often. A player wants less options.
No, that they don't want to be. They don't want to be jerked back and forth between AAA and the majors all season.
Now, is that something that happens frequently?
It happens a lot more than it used to.
All right.
Maybe
we'll sit down one of these days and we will unit solve the baseball crisis.
I mean, there have been players on the Mets. And I'll talk about these like bullpen guys. Someone like Corey Oswalt, not very good player. That basically he's been called up and down Like Paul Sewell, who was at the Mets in 2019. I think he got called up like 12 times during the 2019 season.
Mm-hmm.
He'll make an appearance. They'll send him back down to the minors. Then 10 days later, which is they have a 10-day waiting period before they can call him up again. They'll call him up again, and they'll pitch like 3 innings, and then they'll send him back down again.
Mm-hmm.
And the players don't like that. They think that that the teams are abusing their ability to send players up and down.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're going to solve it here, but I think maybe we should sit down and we should solve the baseball crisis. I think we might do it before Manfred does.
Well, and Manfraud has ulterior motives.
Okay.
He wants to get rid of the American League and National League.
And he and this is a fact. He said this.
He's floated it out there, yes.
He's like floated saying it, or he's floated the idea by saying it.
He's floated that baseball should be realigned to East and West.
He said that.
Yeah, he's floated that idea.
Is he floating the idea by saying it, or is he saying he's floating the idea?
He has suggested it in interviews.
He suggested in interviews that that baseball should be realigned to East and West.
Yes.
Okay. There we go. I just want to make sure because, I want to make sure we have all the facts here.
It's basically what he's done with minor league baseball. He got rid of the International League. He got rid of the International League and Pacific Coast League for AAA East and AAA West.
Yeah, but that may also have his hand may have been pushed by the Department of Labor on that.
Well,
maybe. I'm not giving him benefit of the doubt, though. One day we'll solve the baseball crisis. But let's talk about your other teams. We were down in Daytona, so we went to the 500. Let's talk about that first. Daytona 500. I think my second or third time going. I love Daytona. I love the toner, the 500. The Coke 400 is also fun. Your first race, what do you think?
I was nice to see racing, and I was glad that we actually got good seats. That
we had great seats.
I mean, when in NASCAR, basically, the higher up you are, the better off you are, instead of being down by the wall. So we actually got a good chance. We could actually see the whole race. We could see them go around the back stretch.
Yeah, we were level 300. We were just high enough where we could see across the infield and see the other side of the track. And we were right where the end of pit road. So we could see the cars coming to pit road.
Yeah, we saw that one loose tire going, rolling.
Yeah, there were a couple loose tires, but the one we saw was the actual tire, the rim. And then we looked at the video board, and there goes the wheel along with it. That happened to two different cars. Yeah, I mean, I get somebody talked to the pit crews, but it was fun, right?
Of course, all three of my drivers got taken out by Tyler Reddick, like dominoes, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, and we've talked about this. Our post race recap, the 3Chi car driven by Reddick, just right there. I think maybe 20, 30 laps to go, maybe 40 laps to go. Took out Truex, Logano, multiple cars.
And Kurt Busch. He took out Kurt Busch.
Yeah. And Kyle was already – I think was Kyle already taken out, or Kyle came out later?
Kyle had an accident.
Yeah.
And he never was quite in the race again after that.
Yeah. Truex.
He got into that scrape at the end of the first stage that took out Hamlin.
Yeah. Well, Truex Jr., he won stage 1, won stage 2, and I tell you what, that is you don't go into Daytona 500 actually thinking like your driver is going to win. You hope he's going to win, but there's no thought like, oh, I'm confident that this driver's going to win. Truex won stage 1, he won stage 2, and I said this could actually happen. And Reddick saw to it that did not happen. I tagged Reddick in the tweet, and I said, "He is your new public enemy number one," and he liked the tweet. So I think, and obviously, I think he's friends with Spider, but I think either he is down to play the game and he's having fun with it, or his feelings are mutual, and he doesn't like you either.
He took out 3 of my drivers. I would have won some nice money. My gambling losses have been piling up lately. I don't win shit.
Yeah, well, so you didn't win NASCAR, and yeah, you didn't. Your Nets aren't winning that much either, are they?
Nope, they're the worst team in the NBA since New Year's Day. They've only won like 4 games.
They're like worse than the Kings.
Yes.
They've lost.
And one of their, and one of their 4 wins have come against the Kings, and another one came against the Knicks. And the Knicks blew a 28-point lead in that game. I mean,
Yeah.
the Nets are basically a couple of games away from being 0-29.
And I mean, just weeks ago, we were in the playoff hunt.
Now they're out of it. They have to, if the season ends today, they'd have to play 2 play-in games, and then play right away 3 straight games against the rested team on the road. Because the play-in winner, I think, has to play all 7 games on the road and has to win the series 5-2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's 7 games, but you have to win 5.
Yep, and the other team can actually travel,
mm-hmm.
and you have to play with 4, and they have to play with 6 players.
Yeah, plus the refs.
Meanwhile, James Harden continues to look good in practice. He's probably and the 76ers right now are a 1-10 favorite. They're minus 190 to win the NBA championship.
Really?
Yep.
Well, you don't have to worry about his jersey anymore. We had a nice little burn barrel in my backyard. I've used that burn barrel for many things. That was the first jersey that's been burned in it. Now,
the one thing I noticed about the burn barrel in the commentary is we should have used the lawnmower.
Yeah. I've been on the road. I've been traveling. I haven't and it's been winter. I usually burn off the after winter if it's too high. I usually burn it off anyway. But enough commentary about my backyard. You burn the jersey. Any plans on getting another jersey, or are you going to stick with?
I want to get a Durant jersey if he comes back healthy, which he probably won't.
You don't have any concerns that Durant might do the same thing Harden did?
There's nobody that's ever going to do what Harden did. Harden's an asshole, and he's now done it with 2 fucking teams.
Is there any part of you that says, I should have expected this? He did the same thing to the Rockets.
A little part of it, but I thought he at least he could give the Nets an honest effort in his first full season with the Nets. I thought considering that he's a free agent at the end of the year and can leave and go anywhere he wants, I thought he'd actually give him an honest year, And if the Nets would have just played 500 basketball, they'd actually be in the playoff hunt. They'd actually have a chance. And Durant and Kevin Harden and James Harden just being a fucking douchebaggery asshole, destroying the team, took the team and just flushed them down the toilet. They're hopeless. They have no hope. They're going to be like the Sacramento Kings, forever lost. That's like going to Siberia. You've been traded to the Sacramento Kings. I mean, James Harden should have gone to the Sacramento Kings. That's the team he should be playing for. No. And NBA Siberia. You go home and you go to Sacramento. I mean, look at all the teams. You got teams in New Orleans, and that's another hopeless team. But at least you have the French Quarter. You have Brooklyn. You have New York. You have Orlando. You take your kids to Disney World. What the fuck is there in Sacramento?
It's the capital, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not by the water. It's landlocked.
It's the
So you
capital.
don't. It's a cow town.
Is Sacramento the capital of California?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, you can go visit the Capitol building.
What is the nightlife like in Sacramento?
I'm not sure. I've never been. I've never been to California.
They have high curbs in
I'm sure.
California.
I'm sure it's a lot of masks.
Yeah, they have high curbs in California. I mean, literally, what are you gonna do in Sacramento, fucking California?
I don't know. Do you hate Sacramento, California?
It is a minor league town.
Yeah.
I mean, what is the NBA doing in Sacramento? They had like 2 good years in 2001, 2002, and they had the referees fuck them over so they couldn't get to the NBA Finals because the NBA said, "Oh God, no, we don't want the NBA Finals in Sacramento." So they fucked them over. Tim Donaghy admits this. So you have a team that's hopeless. They haven't made the playoffs now in 18 years. They had a good player who was playing good, and they said, "You know what? We're going to trade you to the Pacers." And here we go again. And they're going back. They're back to stage one again for like the eighth time. They get to the verge where they're just about to make a playoffs, and all of a sudden, they push the reset button. I mean, nobody wants to be in Sacramento. Nobody goes, "I want to be a Sacramento King."
Yeah. Now, where would they go if they had? I mean, if they left Sacramento, where would they go?
Well, they just built a new arena. They were threatening to move a few years ago.
Sacramento.
They were threatening to move a few years ago, and they built them a new arena. They could have gone to Seattle. They could have gone to Vegas. I mean, they've never hosted an All-Star game. When they hosted the All-Star game, the Maloof brothers said that petitioned the league and got granted permission to play the All-Star game in Las Vegas. I mean,
The
it's
Vegas
in
Kings.
Vegas.
They would have. That's got a good name. That's a good name. The Vegas Kings.
You know, that team's already played in 4 different cities. 5 if you count Omaha.
Sacramento.
Yep.
I mean, just on name alone, the Vegas Kings.
They started out as the Rochester Royals. Then they became the Cincinnati Royals. Then they became the Kansas City Omaha Kings. Then they were just the Kansas City Kings. And then they became the Sacramento Kings.
What year? When did they move to Sacramento?
1985.
So it's not like a long history or anything.
They're one of the older teams in the NBA, but
I mean, in
they won't.
Sacramento,
Yeah.
Vegas Kings. What could have been? What could have been? Well, so let's just recap this. The Nets are garbage. There's probably not going to be a baseball season. Your drivers were all taken out by the 3G car. And the Devils beat the hell out of the Pittsburgh Penguins last night.
Yeah, Dougie Hamilton played for the first time in nearly 2 months after breaking his jaw. Then the Devils came out with some spirit and energy.
Yeah, and Dawes, new goalie. I think this is the second or third time he's been called up.
Yep, Nico Dawes should not be on the roster.
Well, I mean that's
He might be their best. He might be their best goalie, which is the problem.
But
But for his development,
Mm.
he truly probably should be the everyday starting goalie for Utica.
You don't think him coming up and playing a game here and there is a benefit to him?
Yeah, I don't think it could hurt him, but I think he might be better suited in playing in Utica.
For his own good.
Yeah, for the length of his career.
Gotcha. Now again, we're not talking about him coming up right away. We're just talking about randomly needing him, so bringing him up.
Yeah, well, Blackwood's hurt. The Jonathan Bernier, second year in a row, the Devils brought in a veteran goalie, and second year in a row went.
Where is he now? Is he injured?
Recovering from hip surgery.
Hip surgery. I didn't know he had hip surgery.
Yeah, hip surgery.
They released they released Wedgwood.
Wedgwood, yeah.
They released Wedgwood.
Yeah, they probably would not have released Wedgwood if they knew Bernier was going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Did they bring in Gillies, who is Gillies is garbage Gillies?
It's a stretch, but I think he pulled it off. But,
and even worse is Schmid, who they could actually bounce a beach ball and he couldn't stop it.
That's mean, Frank. Might be correct, but it's mean.
I mean, his name is Shiji Schmid. They should call him Shiji Shiv. It's the goals just go by him like shifting for flour.
I don't get that one, Frank. Just have to.
Yeah, well, there's a monkey right now and he's playing the drums. You ever see that clip? See that clip? It's a internet meme. It's from a cartoon where a monkey goes and does the.
Yeah. All right. He's very reluctant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Frank, the Devils won last night. They're playing again tonight, right?
Yeah, they're playing tonight. I didn't think they win last night, so I don't think they'll win tonight.
All right.
So, I mean, all my teams right now are totally fucked.
When was the last time all of your teams were doing really good at one time?
The Nets and Devils were both in the finals at the same time.
Well, there you go.
But the Mets were in last place at that time.
I think, Frank, this may be an issue of you being a fan of too many teams.
I mean, the Dolphins.
When you cheer,
they're a disaster. Their new coach, I think, is going to be just the pits. It just feels like he's going to be terrible.
When you root for 5 different teams, rarely, and if any, if at all, are all 5 teams going to be good?
I mean, Seton Hall's had a disappointing season.
NJIT.
Well, NJIT, they're something. They're different. NJIT is a tiny college and a tiny conference who I just want to see get to the NCAA tournament once. They're a team that, if they get to the NCAA tournament, would be a 16 seed.
If they make the play-in.
Well, but they're in the American East Conference, a one-bid conference that they're just going to and that's the type of team that's like 15, 16 seed. So I just want to see them get there once. I mean, just to say, hey, look, NJIT's in the NCAA tournament. Yeah. They actually made the baseball tournament last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like regionals.
Yeah.
All right. Good deal. Well, maybe we'll see them in Omaha one day.
I mean, they actually had a lead against Arkansas in one of the games last year. But then the 6th inning happened and Arkansas became Arkansas, and they didn't end up going to the College World Series. But they're in the regionals. That's an accomplishment for them. And I'm not talking about NJIT. NJIT, I just think it would be a cute story to see them get to to get a bid and end up getting the doors blown off by Duke.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't know about Duke, but somebody else for sure. All right. So just to recap, all of your teams are garbage. They all suck.
Well, the Mets had a chance to be good this year, but Rob Manfraud saw that and he wants the Mets to never be good because he hates the Mets.
Frank, I've offered you multiple times. If you want to go down to MLB headquarters, Radio City Music Hall, and protest Manfraud, I have the signs ready to go.
I think that's something we have to look into doing without next week.
Yeah, but you say look into. I'm talking about, Frank, do you want to go protest Manfraud?
Monday's the deadline. I definitely think we should go Tuesday.
Monday's the deadline for what?
That's Rob Manfraud's drop dead date for the season.
Where did you get that from?
He says if there's no deal by Monday, they're not playing 162 games. And the players said if we're not playing 162 games, cancel the whole season. If we want all our money.
The players said that.
Yep.
Okay, so Monday. Frank, I feel like this is breaking news. So you're saying if there's no deal done Monday for there to be 162 games played, the players are saying cancel the season.
Well, the players said that they won't sign any deal unless they get paid for 162 games.
Paid for 162 games.
I mean, the way the East sides are battling right now, there's not going to be a season.
So whose fault is this, Frank? Whose fault is this?
It's Manfraud.
All right. And so are we going to go protest or what?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Let's protest, Frank. Let's go right now. Tuesday. We'll go Tuesday. But that was an affirmative. We will go protest on Tuesday. Frank, get your signs ready.
Get your popcorn.
All right, we're going to protest Tuesday. Frank, anything else going on besides the protest?
Well, you got to meet somebody today.
I did. I met Deion Sanders today. I think it was the first time I've ever asked for an autograph. I'm not a very I can come across as like a very outgoing, in people's faces kind of person. But I'm kind of shy. I'm kind of timid when it comes to, especially meeting someone who's an idol. I didn't want to bother him, but I still wanted to get the autographs, but I wanted to be respectful. And there was just like a 30-second window. I was able to shake his hand, say it's, I threw it out there. I was trying to think of ways we could connect. I said, hey, they call me coach. I'm an FSU alumnus. And his immediate reaction was, yeah, I'm not really a big fan of them right now. And I'm like, yeah, I'm on your side, coach. But he was gracious and
Florida State, they're making their own problems,
Yeah, well, it's tough to, I can't say I wasn't going to stop him and say, well, actually, I can understand why they didn't hire you. Like I would never do that. But he was nice. He signed the cards without even questioning it, and so now I have those 2 cards now.
The thing about Florida State and not hiring him, I think Florida State didn't really know how serious he was to be a coach. And I think now that he's been in Jackson State and showed he could actually recruit players down to Jackson State, shows that, and in college football, that's the most important part, I believe, is the recruiting. So,
well, it is an essential part. If you don't recruit, you're not going to compete.
So if the Florida State job opens up again, I really think they need to look really hard at hiring him.
Well, right now they have Mike Norvell. Now they signed an extension for him, a 1-year extension, which I don't know why they did that. They said it was to, keep the guys who were there, who'd been recruited, like to show them, hey, he's going to be here longer, even though everyone knows contracts don't matter. Like he can leave at any time. but I don't know if he would go to them. I don't know if FSU has the humility to if it came up, to approach Deion, and I don't know if Deion would want to go to him. I don't know, but it was a good experience. I met him, said hello, shook his hand, took a picture, got both cards signed. Deion Sanders and Leon Castle. Leon, was it?
Sandcastle.
Sandcastle. There we go. Leon Sandcastle. Got both cards signed. Those are now it's just a cool pair of cards. I'll have to get them, somehow framed together or whatnot. It's a cool set. Those will definitely be on the wall coming soon on Doug's Den. And yeah. All right. Well, that's Barstool Units episode 42.
52.
52. Oh, Frank, I'm still not back from the driving 2 days. It was 14 hours both ways. That's Barstool.
Well, yeah, just think about this. Well, there'll be another road trip coming soon, one of these days. Especially if there's no MLB season. I mean, we'll have to hit the minor leagues, the minor league tour. Maybe you can go all the way out to Great Falls.
Yeah, I'm always down for some minor league baseball, and we will be in Birmingham. I'll be in Birmingham. I hope Frank will be too. It all depends on what kind of bobblehead the Mets are going to give away, if there's even a season. But I'll be in Birmingham to cheer on our Generals.
I love my bobbleheads. The more bobbleheads, the better. And I want to and one of these days I got to get myself a bobblehead of myself. I think we can bobbleheads.
I think we can do that. Well, there might be a Generals bobblehead down in Birmingham. We never know. I'll have to reach out to the Generals and see what they're doing.
Well, I need a Generals 5X shirt. Come on, let's go, Generals. Get that to merch.
They have merch out. I don't know if I looked at it. I don't believe they have unit sizes. I'm going to reach out to them. They're still new. They're still getting everything in place. It's not their fault. We just need to educate them and let them know that units are also fans of football.
And I still have my Generals pennant from 1983 hanging on my wall.
We'll get you a new one just in case.
I kind of want to keep the one from 83.
No. Of course. You'll keep that one, but just in case it falls apart the next couple of years, just from natural decay.
Come on, it survived 25 years of cigarette smoke.
Yeah, and you can tell. They should absolutely do. This is a pennant. This is your pennant after 25 years of cigarette smoke, because it definitely looks like it. All right, so we've got a lot planned. Watch out next Tuesday. Manfraud, if you do not get your act together, we will see you Tuesday. That's Barstool Units. Frank, please take us out.
On the road again. Gee, I can't wait to get on the road again. Going places that I've never been before, and I can't wait to get on the road again. Click like and subscribe, and watch out for my videos of the road. I attach a camera to the dashboard and add some music underneath, because that's what's fun. And I can't wait to get on the road again.
Beautiful. See you next time.
Even if that means going to south of the border again. What a sad place.
Frank, I think us even speaking it negatively about that place may be enough to shut it down. That's how bad.